This is Billy. You know me as the Permaculture Pimp Daddy from Perma Pastures Farm. Say that 10 times. And guess what, y'all? I'm here with a couple of rock stars, and you have no idea how much. Okay, so on the far side over here is Darren Doherty, and this is his wife, Lisa, the Permaculture Pimp Daddy, but that's one of the Pimp Daddies of permaculture. So...
I'm pimped out.
He's my daddy.
Oh, my goodness.
Lisa, you would never say that.
This didn't get weird at all. So,
well, you opened it up.
I thought I was one of the longest running permaculture marriages out there. We're going on 30 years, and you guys got us beat by a couple of years, which seems a little bit unfair, but not nearly as unfair as that thing going off right now.
Yeah, baby.
That's like a celebration thing, right?
There you go.
That's right.
Okay, so there is such a thing as a permaculture divorce. For all the people out there, we have record numbers like Joel often talks about of we have this homesteading tsunami right now, and those of you on YouTube don't necessarily know it because all of the algorithms are telling you not to watch this. So if you are watching it, send it to everybody you know, because they're also filmmakers, and we're going to get to that hopefully more on the Permaculture Pimpcast when we talk there, so we'll go into greater detail there. But right now I want to hit, because we're in this place where we have record numbers getting into this space. A lot of people that I know personally are falling apart, and the rigors of this life can make it very, very tough, especially when not everything else is, you know, things aren't always going to go well. So I want to ask you two that have been at this for a very long time, how on earth do you make it work? And I don't see any ligature marks around your neck or anything, so she didn't try to strangle you while you were sleeping in the hotel last night.
Well, let's not get kinky.
He did snore the other night, and I was a little bit of...
He said, let's not get kinky using a feather. She tried to use the whole chicken earlier.
The worst he gets is a little bit of an elbow every now and then when he snores. But I say to people, 3 C's. Open, honest communication. Not when you're in a bad mood, not when you're tired, not when you're grumpy. Communicate your authentic truth, and then you allow your partner to hear that and to react to it. So communication always. Cooperation always. Cooperate, work as a team, celebrate our differences, talk about, you know, what makes your team work, what you need to make the household work, and work out what each one wants to do to make the household work or the farm work. So communication always, cooperation always, compromise sometimes. I don't want to go to the blah blah blah, but he really wants me to come, so I go. He doesn't want to come to the blah blah blah.
Most things.
He doesn't want to go anywhere. No, that's not true. He doesn't want to dance. I love to dance. So over the years,
I do if I like the song.
Yeah. Over the years, he will compromise and he'll dance with me, and it gives me such joy to.
And I'm actually a really good dancer.
I was now I'm really perplexed, because white people generally can't dance at all, and now I'm wondering how white Australian people dance.
Oh.
So guess what? I play 70s funk. Oh, she's got rhythm.
No, she's amazing. She's the best.
Look at me, I'm like Steve Martin on the jerk. I can't really
Then you two would dance well together.
Oh yeah, I didn't get that recessive trait. Oh my goodness. Would you agree? I mean, obviously you're going to agree, because she has 4 brains, and we just found out today you and I only have 3.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering where my second one is.
Well, I know where.
Let alone my third.
I'm going to leave that one right there. How do you make the marriage work? I mean, because I mean, when you're doing when you have the rigors of a farm life anyway, it's already tough. You already we bought a farm in 2004, I think. 23 acres, so barely a farm. But we would know how to make that commercially viable, so we could live off it full time. But we've had a design and consulting and development business since March 1993. So that's been our main game, and that's what I wake up wanting to do. So as much as anything, professionally. So we ended up selling that in 2020. We really enjoyed it, but we weren't able to give it the time. So we've got thousands of farms which are our farms.
And that, you know, that was a reconciliation that we had to come to, because again, you know, well, especially in permaculture, I would say, but also in holistic management to an extent, which are the two main domains and key line that we work in, that there's a kind of an expectation that you have to have a farm, right, in order to be able to do what you do,
right,
as a consultant or whatever. And I just don't think that that's true. And the other thing that happens with that is then it puts all of those pressures that we were talking about at the top end on you. So if I had a farm which I was proud of, I would need to put the time into it, or I would need to have a bunch of people who I'm paying or they're paying me to look after because they're interns or however that deal works, and that's just not going to work, right? Well, it doesn't work for us, because
right, we
don't want to play that game, and nor do we're not half-assed people. Like, you know, if we want to have a farm, well, we want to do it properly, we want to do a proper job of it, and you can't, well, I don't think I could do that, and I knew I couldn't do that as well as be a good husband, be as good a father as I could, let alone fulfill my professional role effectively. So that's okay. I mean, people need to be okay with not being able to have it all or do it all, and if you do, well, then good luck to you if you can pull all that off. But I don't see too many people doing it and not having a consequence, which is often not going to be, especially for men, because men are so focused on their work, not having a consequence which is going to blow off. I mean, we've met people who've said permaculture is the most important thing, with their wife and child sitting next to them. It's like, whoa. And
that was one person we stopped working with straight away.
And it was like,
I said, you don't mean more than your wife and your daughter? And he said, yeah, it's more important than anything.
Now, I've seen that not just in permaculture, but in a number of things. People men get obsessed with their work, and they do that at the expense of everything, ultimately making those really tough choices, which are not tough choices for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that part of that's it's in men's DNA to be the hunter, you know, to go out and to provide. So it's like they think they're doing the best for the family, and if there's not clear, honest, open communication, then the husband thinks he's doing the right thing by being a workaholic, working 7 days. Yeah, you know, providing.
That's, you know, I fell into that same trap myself, in an effort to get out of chasing. I was going after that brass ring, knowing full well that but my wife was in on it with me. She was like, okay, I'm working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. I'm doing it month after month after month, so we can get just enough money to buy this place, and then we can just kind of all work at it together. And it sounds like you two have also worked in that same group effort, where
we work as a team.
Exactly, and that's why we do have such a thing as a permaculture divorce. Now, I know they got to get off to dinner here in a minute, and I don't want to hold them up, but we got to talk about some other things.
I just wanted to say, play. Like a friend said to me the other day, marriage is hard, and anyone who doesn't agree is,
I'm sorry. He started laughing. It's his fault,
because she's really fun, and I'm really
we
fun.
Play. I say don't work hard, play hard.
Oh,
like we dance around, we
not
sing.
Sexual play.
Oh, of course.
I mean, of course, we have sexual play.
That's very important.
But we also we break up laughing at each other all the time when we're driving, and we tell it we've got
we sing, we do accents.
We've got the best relationship in terms of well, I don't know. I'll say I think she's the funniest person I've ever met, but I don't know if she would say that.
I think I'm the funniest person I've ever met.
Yeah,
I don't know if she says that about me.
No.
I think I'm the funniest person I've ever met too.
That's funny.
Now I gotta ask: do you guys do you make fun of, like, can you do an American accent?
Oh,
honey, you tell me what state you want me to. You want me to do New York? I will do New York. Hey Harry, I want a hamburger. I don't want to ask him my hamburger. I want an OJ. Can I have a cup of coffee with one? Harry, come on. Why am I waiting so long? Come on.
It's believable.
Absolutely. No.
I can't even believe it. Yeah. Well, these guys, look, we're gonna. I think I'll be spitting all over myself because
we do a lot of accents. That's one of our favourite things.
I can't properly do in Australia except maybe throw another shrimp on the barbie.
No, that's really bad.
A dingo stole my baby.
Oh man, I got to work on this one. So before we went off to dinner and everything, they also have a movie that basically, you're going to have to go looking for, and we're going to talk about it a great deal on the podcast because, to my understanding, it was very consequential. But it's one of those things, like everything else, if it's worth having, you're going to have to go looking for it. You notice how the best music is never on the radio, the best movies are never in the theaters? Well, why don't you tell us about the one you guys created and where everybody can go to find it?
So it's called Polyfaces, www.polyfaces.com, and it's about the beautiful Salatin family and Polyface Farm. So Joel Salatin is a famous author and farmer and had basically been in every documentary about food or farming. All those documentaries that we'd seen up to when we started making our documentary were negative, like, you know, showing factory farming, industrial farming. It was like there was nothing inspirational.
And the music.
There was no answers. It was doom and gloom.
Dun, dun.
And
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
it was
impending
like
doom kind of music, yeah.
So we decided to make a documentary focusing on this farm and the history of this farm and the family, the beautiful family. And it's, I mean, our editor kept saying, you've got to find some drama, you've got to find, you know, something bad. The only thing that happened was we'd gone home after being here filming and they had a hurricane.
Yeah, or tornado.
And they
or
lost,
something.
you know, thousands of chickens. I tried to get someone to come and film
Their
that.
chickens learned how to fly.
It was horrible, and I tried to get someone to come and film that, but I couldn't, so we had to let go. So it's a beautiful documentary about this family and farm and how we vote with our dollar every day, and it's not that hard to seek out local regenerative farmers and support them. And every day you can support a local regenerative farmer who is regenerating their landscape, regenerating their community, their local economy, the health of their customers, and most importantly, the health of the soil. And no civilization that has destroyed their soil has survived. So we have to support local regenerative farmers. And I think that this documentary will inspire you. It makes life easier. You seek them out and then you don't have to go to a supermarket anymore.
That's right.
Like, you literally don't have to go to a supermarket. You buy fresh, local, buy bulk, have your pantry and your freezer stocked, and you'll be healthier. The planet will be healthier.
It was 2013, I was preparing for a talk at Pioneers on the big stage, and I was working out all these details, and that was around the time that we did the initial filming of Polyfaces in 2011. And then probably by about 2013 we really started to amp it up in terms of more filming and so on. And when I was preparing for Pioneers, I found that the statistic of that there were 126 consumers for every farmer in the US, and that's going to have changed since 2013.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I then calculated the annual food spend of each of those 126 or each of those consumers, and I calculated that if, you know, this is ideal, but if each of those consumers put their annual food spend and allocated it to that farmer, the farmer would have this revenue that it was like, I can't remember what it was, but it was like $300,000 or $400,000 a year of revenue. Now, you balance that against the average revenue of the farmers at that stage in the US, and it was substantially less. So, and you know, one of the big themes of discussion here has been how can we be full-time in agriculture, right? Well, it helps when you've got consumers who actually support you, because at the moment consumers would love to support farmers better, but they do it in a circuitous route through the people who make the lion's share
That's right.
of the money that goes through
The middleman, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, all the supermarkets and all of the distributors and so on. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to completely change your life all the way immediately, but we get excited, and we find wherever we go or anywhere in the world, it only takes us about a week to find our entire food supply by local farmers, because we just put that effort in, and you live there all the time, or less.
I mean,
we call it the hunt.
I often do the catering for our workshops, and I will only use local in season, and it's not that hard. I mean, we were in Vermont years ago, and I did all the catering from 2 kilometres of where our workshop
So
was.
one and a half miles.
Everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And most of the farmers up there use horses. They don't use tractors.
Yeah, that was in Essex County in New York. Yeah.
Well, that's the problem here. You know, we're so well adjusted to a sick society. And that's what they're undoing, folks. And this is why, even though I'm up to my eyeballs this time of year and I got my own festival to plan for next year, when I found out he was on the menu, hang on, let me say that a different way.
What,
He's delicious.
On the
rotisserie or smoked?
I'll tell you what, these are fantastic people, and it's been a real joy to get to know them. And honestly, I mean, there's so much more we could talk about. I mean, like the grounding and some of the holistic things you do. We've spent a lot of time talking about a lot of things you hear me talk about on the podcast, but it's going to be really cool to get another perspective. And they're probably going to be back in Australia because I can't talk them into just jettisoning this whole place and coming on down to my place. But
we want to come.
Well, you never know.
Get on the first thing smoking. You can always come down to Billy's Jungle Palace of Love.
Woo!
Right there, high atop Mars Hill, North Carolina. You know where to find us. Well, hey, folks, tell everybody where they can find you. And I know you guys got to get off to dinner.
Yeah, we do. He's our man.
So, Regrarians.
I'll leave a link down below.
Is our business. Yep. And Polyfaces.
What's our non-profit that we run?
The doco. And it's a great family documentary to watch.
Kids love it.
All ages love it. It's very joyful. It's very inspiring.
Yeah, kids love it.
Well, there you have it, y'all. We'll leave links down there. Stay tuned on the podcast. We'll have them on there. Until next time, this is Billy from Perma Pastures Farm, and I'm actually at Polyface Farm right now. Try to say all these P's together, but the Permaculture Pimp Daddy from Perma Pastures Farm, where permaculture is my passion. We'll see y'all next time.
Woohoo!